Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another journal with me to share with you guys. Really excited. This is going to be the first journal with me in my new journal. So the first one that I get to share with you guys. I have been doing some journaling behind the scenes. I just didn't get a chance until this day to actually film it. So I'm just starting off by pulling out all the ephemera I've tucked into the pockets and the elastic band of my journal. Whenever I am collecting ephemera, I just kind of like to shove it somewhere into my journal, which makes it really nice with this traveler's notebook setup because I have folders and pockets and the elastic band in the front to tuck stuff into. I'm just pulling things out. I have some printables from my shop that I've printed and cut out in that pocket that you see now. So I'm pulling out some pieces from my marrying kit and from my ultimate prayer journaling kit, which I want to use on this spread. Of course, you don't have to use the pieces just for prayer journaling. I'm just pulling some out to see if I'll want to use them, if I feel inspired with them as we go along. So I'm just flicking through my journal to the page that I want to start on. So I actually did kind of like the background, I guess you could say, of these pages already while I was on the trip. So I just did two when I was kind of feeling like doing something creative. So I have those to build upon. I just need to add in the photos that I'm going to print, which you'll see me doing in just a little bit. I use my Canon selfie photo printer and I just print 2 to a page on a 4x6 sheet, so I get these 3x4 photos, and I find that they work really well for my journal. I just cut them down the middle to where they're sized correctly, and then I'll use them. I have a lot of photos today that I wanted to print out. Of course, I took photos when we were going on our different trips on the different part of the vacation and all of that. So I have a lot that I'm going to try to work onto this page, but I'm just starting off with this sunset picture with the pier in the background. So I'm just trimming off a little bit of the part where it was touching another photo. So sometimes there's just a little bit of like bleed between the colors, but I don't mind. I just kind of trim it off if I feel like I need to. And then I'm using double-sided tape for the majority of honestly everything in this spread. It worked really well because I had a lot of thicker pieces that needed something stronger than a glue stick. So I just went in with a lot of double-sided tape. I recently got some so that way I could do this journaling spread. And so I'm just going to use that to attach a lot of things down. So that popcorn bag that you saw on the right-hand side of that first spread was from one of the hotels that we stayed at. So I just grabbed an extra bag because I knew I wanted to put one in my journal, and then I have a piece of pattern paper that I cut down and I just stuck in as a pocket, and then I put a clothing tag from some merchandise that I got just over the top to kind of make almost like a sort of tab. Like it doesn't stick out like a tab usually would, like up from the top, but it kind of overlaps the pocket, and I think it just adds a nice layer. So I'm turning to that next page that I already kind of started, and then I'm taking out 2 photos. These photos are both from the same day, and so I just wanted to group them together on this page. So I'm going to cut down the one. I just cut off a bit of the sidewalk that was in the photo just to make it fit within the space better, and then I'm going to stick those down with some double-sided tape. I just have some clothing tags on that page from some different things I got. I honestly don't remember where one of the tags is from. I know that one of them was from a sweatshirt that I bought. The other, I'm not entirely sure, but I like the way that the pops of red kind of look together with the page. So now I'm taking a Famous Amos bag. I really like Famous Amos. They are kind of nostalgic for me. They're something that my dad likes and he would get when he went on deployment. So they have kind of a special place in my heart, and they're also really good. So they had them at the airport, so I just saved my bag, and then I'm cutting it down. And I like the little cookies illustrations and the different like tones of the bag, I guess you could say. Like I liked how the tan background blended on really nicely with that craft paper. So I'm just going to cut down the front panel and make it to where it fits kind of within one of the sides, and then I'm going to use it as like a background, like just another layer to the page. Something that I've been really enjoying with my pages here of late, and something that has been fun to do since I don't have pattern paper in this journal, has been building up the background. So using either patterns or using ephemera like I'm doing here, and just creating a background and then layering on top of it. I didn't do a ton of layering in my journal previous to this, but I've really been enjoying it in this journal. So now I'm just taking a illustrated doily from my Marion kit, and I'm just going to attach that as a flip out. I end up putting a photo underneath here, but I don't show it in the spread just because I wanted to keep it more private. So the flip out really helped kind of incorporate it still into the page, but keep it personal and something that I didn't want anybody to just be able to see if they were going to flick through the journal. So I just used some washi tape from Peony and June to stick that in. I really like this washi tape, and I liked how the colors of the doily blended in nicely as well with the famous Amos cookie bag. So now I just have two other photos that I'm going to layer and collage onto the page on the right. So I'm just figuring out which orientation I kind of like them, and then I go ahead and I stick them down with some double-sided tape. The other thing that I've really been enjoying about this journal in particular is how with the craft paper I can write just directly on the page. So something that I like doing is just leaving gaps in between photos or in between ephemera, and then I can write down and kind of fill in those gaps. So even though there's blank pages, it doesn't feel blank because eventually I'll go in and I'll add written journaling that kind of brings it all together. So I took this scrap of pattern paper, it had airplanes on it, and I have a baggage tag from one of my suitcases. So I wanted to incorporate that into the page. It's a really bright hot pink, but I thought that it was fun for this page, and then this airplane paper was also pink, so it worked together really well. So I'm just going to collage these two pieces together with also some photos, and this will be the second to last spread that I do in this page. Oh yeah, I also go in with some washi tape down the middle just to help reinforce where that scrapbook paper is glued down. So I did not do a very good job of tearing that washi tape. You can see that it's kind of unevenly torn on the edge, but I don't really mind. I think it adds something like kind of more rustic to the page. So I'm just taking one of the photos that I want to incorporate on this page and attaching it in that top left corner, and then I'm going to layer that baggage tag, which I also stick down with double-sided tape over the top corner of that photo. And then here's that other photo. I just put it, kind of hovered it over the page to see where I wanted to stick it, and then I added in some double-sided tape. And there's a lot of blank space on this spread. I debated putting a piece of that gum packaging. Sometimes I like to just keep the most random things because it'll work in the page. I ended up just wanting to leave that blank space for more written journaling. And then the last thing I do is I just wanted to use these final two photos, and so I'm sticking those down again on that right hand side, just in that kind of offset pattern that I did before. These ones I layered a little bit closer to each other, but I just stuck them down. And then on the left hand side, I'm going to grab some pattern paper just to add a little more decoration to that page, and then to layer behind the journal card that I pulled out. So I just stuck it down, and then I'm going to run some washi tape down the middle to keep it from peeling, and then I stick down that journal card on top of it. And the last thing I do is just go in and add some washi tape to the photos, and then I also add some stickers. I just used some phrase stickers from the Tim Holtz sticker book, which you will see in a little bit. So there's those just different phrases, different little sayings that are kind of nice. It helps add a little more dimension, a little more layering to the page. And then after that, I'll go ahead and I'll do my journaling off camera. So here's a look at the pages just before I do my written journaling. So I just go in after flicking through, and I just add any writing that I want to. And here's a look at the completed spreads. So I did, I think, 5 spreads total, and I really enjoy how they turned out. It's always fun to have a special event that you get to journal about, that you collected a lot of ephemera for, and you have a lot of photos. It kind of makes the process a little easier in a way, and I just get to have a lot of fun with this page. You can see where I added in my written journaling and all of the final details. I did some doodling as well, It just turned out really nice. If you guys like this video, please make sure to leave a thumbs up and comment. If you're new here, it'd mean a lot if you subscribe. Bye guys!